Good afternoon, my friend. Nice to see you again, guys and girls. Welcome back. I know it's been a few days, it's been a long weekend, and we're back to play some more Inquisitor. So I'm trying to really scrape the barrel here and come up with some stuff to do while we're waiting for some more content for this game. At the moment, I'm planning on just rinsing through with my favourite build thus far in the game, and I have to say it is the heavy bolter build. Now, I'm going to be talking perhaps a little bit about weapon balance within this, because we do know, thanks to Discord, we're going to be getting a beta version of the patch soon, which means that's going to be tested internally. Once it's ready to go, that's going to then go live. So it could be 1 week, it could be 2 weeks, and we'll see ourselves getting a new patch. Now, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, I forgot how to breathe. What has been mentioned in Discord anyway as a brief sort of throwaway statement is that this is mainly going to be a brief update including some balancing changes, and it sounds like the class balances may be included within that, so obviously we're all looking forward to this. It's a pretty big moment to actually have the first and only ever balance revision for these classes, so that's going to be very, very interesting. We know lots of the skills are being revised, lots of them are being changed, all of this sort of stuff, so we're going to collect some reborn curio here. I think what we do is just crack on with some ordinary missions. We got some special purges here, let's have a crack at some of them. So how is everyone else doing on this fine Monday? 1 day down, 4 days left to go. Let's have a go at some of these special missions. I'm assuming this is where I get to do my Kabul quest, which is, well, collecting something from someone. You would think you would collect it from a marauder, being called an Unbound, but we'll just sort of, we'll figure that out and find out. So let's crack on. Now the build I'm rocking is one you've seen before. It is basically me with a heavy weapon, rocking up the physical tree. Physical tree is one of my favourite for rapid fire weapons, and of course I am rocking the critical hit because I love stacking those vulnerabilities nice and fast. Really just make sure I can do as much damage as possible. Now I've also gone for a little bit of extra shock damage with knockdowns, or damage to shocked targets. I've got a total 30%. Or is it 35? I've got a lot of extra damage to slowed, stunned, shocked, etc. targets. So hopefully if we get a couple of team games going on, we might be able to have a little bit of fun. We'll have to wait and see. We'll activate that shrine on the way back. There is no rush for shrines. So if I'm using this ability here, my number 2 key, so you can get a nice bit of suppression coming in here. Very, very useful for disruption, especially when something doesn't have any suppression bar as such. You get to knock it around, throw it around straight away. Pretty goddamn cool. So, moving on. Let's just wipe this map. This is a pretty small map. Has to be said, pretty small map. Which I like indeed. Now, I am tempted to level an assassin over the weekend, because it's the only one of the 3 classes I've not really done any dabbling with. Well, since the update anyway, since the Psyker update. However, I have played assassin a absolute bucket ton over the past 6 months, so I may do, but it may be just an hour or 2. I don't know as I can stomach bringing her all the way up to 40. My favourite class at the moment, now I would have said the Psyker, but you know what? I actually like the Crusader, and I can't put my finger on why. So I don't like the abilities. I just think they're not being able to change them is incredibly awkward. Don't like that. However, there's just something about the aesthetics and slow heaviness of the class, the methodical sort of, I don't know, maybe just the animations, the guns. I just like it more. I can't put my finger on it, but I have a feeling it's something to do with sort of the weight that a Crusader brings. Really, really digging it. So let's just make sure we've put it up in all the announcements. We've tweeted out, we've got warmed up, we've ticked a few boxes, and there we go. Yep, I believe we are cooking with the gases. Let us rock on. So, moving on up, over and onward with the mission. Now, I know some of you listening may be waiting to hear what this damn news was that might be coming last week, still waiting for said news, so well, quote-unquote, soon. I'm afraid that's all I can say, because I don't know what's going on either. There may be good news near in the future, though. There may not. So, emojis in the pipeline as well, waiting for some of the sponsors to check on in. What's up, Mac? Nice to see you, my friend. Long time no see. Long time no see. As you can see, we're rocking the Heavy Bolter again. Not rocking the Ghost Recon Wildlands right this second, although I will admit I'm going to play a little bit before I go to bed. So I really like Ghost Recon Wildlands, even if none of my subscribers do. I'm going to be playing it on the sly, on the cheeky every now and again. But I tell you what I've also been very tempted with. I found a copy of Dawn of War 1 today for £6. The whole shebang. Every single game, every single expansion. Now, I'm going to ask this again when we got a few more people in here, but what would you think about revisiting that game? Doing a little Dawn of War 1 live stream, maybe try and see if there's people that still play the PvP, challenge a few people to some PvP matches. Bit of fun, bit of fun, bit of fun. I can't remember what faction I like the most, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that could be a good stream. Just to bring back the good old days, you know? Oh, it was so fun, we laughed. Oh, how we laughed. I did love Dawn of War 1. It's just base builder games are so much fun, you know? They're so good. So good indeed. Right, I think it's probably time to activate a Void Shield here. I feel a little bit cheesy doing it because it's just so incredibly good. No, I haven't actually played it. I've heard some of the mods for the game are very, very, very good, to be fair. I've just always been a little bit more of a vanilla player. Mainly because I play PvP most of the time, so sort of you kind of have to go vanilla to do PvP in a lot of games. Or at least that's what I thought at the time when I was playing it. I think Sisters of Battle were my main faction back then. I did like Dark Elder for a bit, but I couldn't get into them. Really, really struggled with those guys and kinky girls. Who else was I? I liked Imperial Guard. Couldn't get good with them either. Orcs. I did play a fair bit of Orc. Definitely played a fair bit of Orc. But it was a game I had many, many fond moments in. I was never that great at the PvP though. Never that great. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Right, rocking on with our socks on. Is that a chest over there? I think we should probably grab this. I keep getting told off for not grabbing chests, although I don't think I've ever seen a relic item from a chest. And that is not going to be the first. We will keep trying with our chests. One day we will be victorious. And we will not set up every trap we see today. I'm feeling extra diligent, extra vigilant. Alright, and once again, welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Hopefully, lots to say soon. Hopefully indeed. I need to check out this Ultimate Apocalypse mod, you know? So someone in the chat, sell this mod to me, because I'm hearing a lot of good things. So what is in this mod that makes it so good? Is it just like a rebalance? Is it, I mean, I wouldn't mind if someone just did a remaster of Dawn of War 1, heck, I'd pay $30 for it. I mean, it would just be ripping me off, but I would still be happy playing that. Oh boy. Don't shoot my turret, he's just a boy. Now, is cover useless? Let's find out. Suppression's not dropped yet. Okay, now the suppression's dropped, but you know, we're doing good. Oh, we're cooking them. Uh-oh. And let's just ramp up the ordinary damage. So you can see the little numbers going up and up and up and up and up as we go here. There we go. What's up, Bjorn? What's up, Chapter Master Jones? Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you again. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Titans. Oh, wow. Okay. Lots more units. A lot more in line with the codexes. It sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. Okay, I'll be tempted. Well, I'll tell you what I'll probably do this week is I'll download the base game. It's about something about £6, I think, for everything. I'll see if it's possible to still get PvP games in there, and I'll see if people are playing with the mods and such, because I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to jump in the deep end of a game mode I don't even understand. I'd rather be doing stuff Oh, is there anything good here? Nope, no shields. Sell all of this poo. I do not need this. But I'd be very tempted to try and get a little bit of Dawn of War PvP in, just to try and rekindle those days. And I'm a bit of a nub, but it could be fun. I think that excites me a little bit. That tingles me. I get all tingly thinking about reliving those joyous moments. Like, same with Age of Empires 2 was another game of that sort of. Age of Empires 3 I really liked as well. I mean, I was all about them Russians in Age of Empires 3. I was totally Slavic. Not even joking. Okay. Yo, what's up, Zolos, my friend? Nice to see you. Welcome back. We're going to be doing some of this now, I guess. Well, we'll do special missions. I'm not entirely sure what's special about them. They're not Cabal missions that I'm aware of. At least I'm not seeing anything drop that's Cabal related. Let's have a little see. Do I get anything actually special from this? No, and no. Oh well, it'll do. Once again, if anyone hasn't been keeping up with the Discord antics, there was mention that the beta test, and that's basically for an internal and a few other people externally to test, see if it's ready to go live. Once that goes live, then we've got ourselves an update and we get to see all the balancing changes as well as a few minor gameplay features, but it's not going to be like the Psycho patch. That's all I know. It's going to have a little bit of content, so exciting times. I'm really looking forward to the balance changes, and my plan is, after they've done a balance revision, to then do a full balance overview as such. Because I did offer the other day to say, look, do you want me to do a weapon by weapon analysis as to what I think is viable and not viable in terms of builds, what works with the skill trees and what doesn't. For example, the plasma cannon is really hard to make into a semi-decent build. You've only got one option really, which is to go with the range damage. There's very little other stuff. You see the Arch recent review too. Did Arch do another review of this? Oh my word. Why do people keep reviewing it? Anyway. I mean, I know Arch doesn't like the game, and that's fair, but again, I review it in a different context because I know how much hasn't been added, so that's why I always talk about this game in a different sort of light, because I know what's in the game now, I know what's coming, so I'm not going to moan about there being a lack of, I don't know, map variety or whatever. I know there's another 5 types in the end game, so that's not something I'll critique, but he does have a point though that the basic gameplay elements are somewhat lacking. Elite combat could be better, but you know, give it maybe even 2 weeks when the weapon balancing changes, you might find that you might find some views change. Because one of the things they wanted to do was take out some of the sort of useless skills, but I have to say, anyone that doesn't enjoy this game, I can't really fault them for thinking that. I mean, as in terms of an RPG, I mean, this game right now is not that fun. But it's not a game. It's nowhere near finished. It's got like, I don't know, a quarter of the total content. It's got none of the end game. Although, I do think Arch has a pretty good point that the actual core gameplay itself is missing something. I would not challenge someone that held that view. Ergo, I think Arch is fairly on the ball with his analysis. It's a case of I'm not entirely sure if changing the weapon abilities around enough will help. Changing some of the enemy abilities will help. Adding some enemy abilities may help. Anything that basically turns it into more of a ARPG combat where you're kiting and you're not just kiting back along. Excuse me. Oh, I'm having trouble breathing and functioning today. Just basic ARPG content. Moving out of abilities, moving into abilities. breaking line of sight against things, dodging certain moves. I do think we need a bit more of it, because the game's, while it has some, it is still quite shallow on those fronts. Did I miss everything? No, I've just got cross-eyed. I know there's some shields in there, but there you go. Yeah. I mean, again, I think if one is reviewing this in context of what it is, which is a limited portion of the game, and one still doesn't like it, then absolutely fine by me. No complaints there. But if you're going to say it's missing stuff that they've already said is not going to be in it, such as, I don't know, the campaign's missing, then, well, you could at least kind of read the packaging, you know. But I think for the most part, a good degree of reviews are just because people aren't that keen on it. And, you know, I don't think it's going to be the most popular game in the world. I don't think it's going to be the worst ARPG in the world. We shall see. Oh man, it's just... I'm nervous. I know you guys probably are too. I'm nervous for Neocore. I honestly am. Because I do see that there are some differences between this and Van Helsing in terms of gameplay mechanics. And one thing, I want your view on this as well, but hands up here who's played Van Helsing, and what do you think were the best features of Van Helsing? Because for me, the good things about Van Helsing was nothing to do with the gameplay. Like, the enemies were pretty basic, the mechanics, the skills, the builds were pretty basic. None of that was particularly interesting. It was all the voice acting. The voice acting was immensely entertaining. And it was basically Katarina. It was the writing and the scripting and the story. And some of the quirky missions. For me, that's the sum total of what I enjoyed, but that was still enough for me to really enjoy the game. I'm not entirely sure, Andre. I mean, are you just thinking because that means that they've limited how many abilities we have? I'm not... I think it's possible they would have added one or two more, but I'm not entirely sure they would have made a completely different game if it weren't also being developed for consoles. But I mean, you could be right, but it's not an MMO, it's an ARPG. But I guess we have 4 and then another 2, 5, 6. What most ARPGs have, 8, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't. Maybe would get another 1 or 2 abilities if it were just a flat-out PC game. But I think the actual core gameplay would probably be pretty similar. I mean, the thing is, they've developed this from Van Helsing, so they've developed this... In a way, I see it as sort of like a natural evolution of Van Helsing. Like Van Helsing was the framework of this game, and so much of what they've built has been sort of recycled from that. And I think that's really led to a lot of design choices along the way. Because let's face it, a team of 50 people or so aren't going to just pull an ARPG out of thin air. They're not the easiest game genre to make if you're trying to get a remotely decent or passable quality. Yeah, I know Path of Exile managed to some years ago, but Path of Exile didn't release with a lot of content, and it recycled just about everything. I kind of agree with that some are MMO-ish. Some are a little bit more MMO-ish indeed, but then you've also got to factor in if you're pitching... And this is just my view, but I think if you're pitching an ARPG to the Warhammer crowd, then I do think it needs to be quote-unquote, I'm not going to say noob-friendly, but I think it needs to be accessible for players that haven't played ARPGs that much, because you're basically pitching to a limited audience. I think if you go with a very niche type of build... Oh, let's see what this item has. Is it any better? We'll come back to rambling in a second. Rambling. Suppression. I mean, that's a lot of suppression regen. Focus cost, deflect, knockback skill. It's alright, I guess. I don't know. We'll keep it as it is. But take, for example, Dawn of War 3. That basically, you needed to be an RTS fan and a and a MOBA fan, and that's a big problem. That is a big ass problem. And that's because they're pitching to a tiny portion of RTS fans. Whereas I do think if they made this like Path of Exile, it's kind of like saying this isn't even just for ARPG players. This is for a limited portion of ARPG players. Because I don't really like Path of Exile, some of Path of Exile stuff. So it's complicated, I think. It's complicated. I do appreciate them trying to make a quote-unquote noob-friendly or new player friendly, I think is I hate the word noob, I really do. I think it's just such a dick word. Yeah, I think that's partially the reason behind their design choice as well. I mean, granted, some of us are Diablo players, so we'll want something more complex. Some of us will be Path of Exile players, we'll probably want something a lot more complex. I get you, because the game is very, very simple in terms of the builds, and I'm hoping it adds a bit of complexity with the final weapon types, and I don't know, with these balancing changes, hopefully, maybe. Oh my word, oh my word. This is a purge mission. Okay, that's fine. Because we got a heavy bolter and a lot of bullets. Oh yeah. It's glorious. Oh, it's so glorious. Right, there we go. Let's just blow them all up. What's up, Galv? What's up, Jacoby? What's up, everyone? Well, that's the thing, Andre. I know that the reason they did it this way is because they felt they had to do that to fit in with the lore. They did not want character-based abilities on a game where the IP says that the gun is the core of what you can do. And granted, yes, you can customize. I know they could have implemented some customization, but I do kind of understand the thought process at least. It's not to say I agree with how it's been done, because I think every weapon could have been given a really unique identity. If you just take, for example, a MOBA, a classic genre where you've got 4 abilities on most classes and every class feels really unique. And granted, you're a little bit less flexible within 40k, but I do think that there was a lot more room for unique weapons. However, I would say I kind of do understand why they didn't want to have character-based abilities, although I think a combination of the two would have been the best of both worlds. Basically to do what they've done for the Psyker. Because, well, the trouble is within the lore you don't have like quite so many abilities like Battle Cry and, I don't know, Taunt and stuff like that. It's just not a mechanic within the tabletop, so I think they decided not to go down that route. But I do think they should have and could have. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Ammo grows on trees where I'm from. It's a tough one, but the lack of customization is an issue. I will grant you that. And it's odd that we have one class with customization and sort of all the others without. But at the same time, I get why. I don't think yeah. I would be fairly happy if they managed to make every weapon feel somewhat unique via this coming patch. I don't know, and honestly I'm not expecting every weapon to feel that much better than it does now. But I do think there's improvements to make your weapon feel like it's doing a bit more. Another 1 or 2 abilities, you know what, that probably would have made all the difference. If you had an extra 1 or 2 abilities on your character, it could work, it could work. And a fun little fact, going back in time, way back when, we used to have another 2 armor items, and they actually used to have abilities tied to them. Interesting times. I mean, let's also take into consideration there is a consumable system being implemented. I mean, that may be another ability or 2. I have no idea what it is or how it'll work, but it's something to think about. Da 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 da. Carrying throw. Is this on Audible by any chance? Because I myself have 4 Audible credits ready to be used. And I am all ready for some 40k audio up in my grill. Yep. They were 100% scrapped indeed. They used to come with abilities. They used to have abilities tied to them. Way back, we never saw this. We never saw this. This was like pre-concept when they were first making them. But we used to have another couple of armor abilities that would give you more abilities. And yeah, I see what they've done in trying to give you some variety in terms of having different weapon sets available to you, 2 different weapon sets, but while it is doable, and I think it's very viable for melee to swap to ranged if you get in a situation which is, you know, it's just not going to be doable. I get that, but at the same time, if you've got a ranged... like, okay, I could maybe get an auto gun and it would still work with this build, but you never really feel like you need to change builds that much in this game. Change weapons, sorry, mid-fight. Maybe that'll change. Maybe that'll change in higher difficulties. When you go against an armoured opponent, you'll be thinking, oh damn, I really need to pull out an anti-armour. I'm not sure. But the dual weapon system, maybe they would have been better off with, you know, taking the global cooldowns away, letting you swap in and out, making it a little bit more fluid. Well, I kind of think, Andre, that's being a little bit... like, you know, I could come up with an amazing thing in my basement without even breaking a sweat. Like, sometimes things are great ideas in principle, but I do think if stuff like this was necessarily easy, then it would have been done. Like, you can have weapon modifications for range, and you can have plus this type of damage and plus that, and hey-ho, that's actually what we've already got in our crafting system. It's just no one really cares, because it doesn't feel like you get much choice. But yes, better things could have been done. But, I mean, I guess development time is a factor too. Balancing is also something. There's a lot of other variables too. Like, you can create some pretty interesting systems, but sometimes you create something that looks amazing and you figure out that it's literally unbalanceable. So I don't know. But I do think there is still hope for the weapon-based ability system, provided they actually make the weapons unique. However, it does still come at a cost because, well, you're not unlocking abilities as you go through the game. Really, I think most of us would appreciate a psycho-based system. You know, even if they just took one of these abilities off of the goddamn each of the weapons and just gave us something else to use instead, a class-based ability. And then maybe ditch the grenade and gave us a choice of another class-based ability or the consumable. That, I think, would kind of be okay. I think that would be alright. But is that going to happen realistically now? I don't think so. But it's not like Van Helsing had the... Well, it had an okay skill system. It wasn't amazing, but it was alright. Not my favourite, but... I mean, Van Helsing fell into the same sort of trap that this has in a way. Oh, we've done 15! Yippee! I played the whole Van Helsing and never changed my build because I never felt like I needed to, and that's not a good thing for a game. Yeah, absolutely. I think steps in the right direction need to be made, and I don't know how that's going to happen. I mean, it's not necessarily something that won't happen in the future, but I do think the players have been very vocal about what they want. But I think at the same time, redesigning a whole system like that from the ground up is something that takes time. It is not a quick thing to do, to redesign an entire system, just because, well, look how many weapons we've got. We've got 70 weapons, something like that. There's a lot of them. By the time you start, if you were to say sort of have a skill tree for every single weapon, I can appreciate why that's not been done. I think certain things would be feasible and certain things wouldn't, but there's definitely, I think, players will be vocal about it, and I would hope with enough time. I mean, it might be the first expansion that we see something like it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, having said that, this feedback has been here for forever, since the game went into alpha. I mean, the second video I did was, I think it was the second video I did on my channel, was about the weapon system. This was old. This was a year ago, and I talked about the advantages and disadvantages of their weapon system. I mean, it's noob friendly. You can just pick up a gun, you've got all your stuff, you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about buildcraft too much. It's pretty lore appropriate. You know, you're not breaking anyone's heart regarding sort of each weapon. It's easy to balance. Changing one skill on one weapon doesn't change the others, so it's got some pros. However, it obviously has major disadvantages, which is the complete lack of any customization as such. And one thing I didn't appreciate at the time, which I really do now, is the fact that the majority of the skills on a weapon, or at least half of them, will become redundant because you'll have boosted others via the skill system. And that's not so much of that's not a disadvantage of their system. That's a disadvantage of how they've made their system, because they have made pretty much every ability on a ranged weapon fall into a category of like 15 different total abilities. So everything you play feels a little bit the same. A couple of weapons have branched out, like the Needler. But even then, now the Needler's not particularly unique, because the only reason to use it was really for the anti-heal. And now a burn can apply an anti-heal. And I said to them, like, minus 50% healing for a burn would have been better. That way the Needler gets to keep some of its identity. Nope, they trashed that as well. So now the Needler's just the same as any other sniper, really. You get rapid fire, so you get access to the movement speed steroid from one of the trees. That's lovely, you slow people. Okay, the Needler's a little bit better for kiting, but like a bolt gun, an auto gun, a las gun, I mean, what's the major difference between them? There's not a lot. One of them you could, like, okay, here's the differences. The las gun, you can go for a crit build. The bolt gun, you could go for a crit and some other stuff build. I don't know. That's the problem. They've managed to make every weapon feel the same, and I don't think the system's to blame. I just think it's their choice of implementing, and that's why I think there's hope. Because if they actually genuinely put a bit of effort, and okay, a lot of effort, into making the weapons feel more unique, I think there's hope. My favourite loyalist legion. Oh my word! I tell you what, I've got a thing for Space Wolves. I just like the grey colour scheme. I think it's bitchin'. I'm afraid it's not Raven Guard. I am afraid not. Definitely not Ultramarine. I don't mind the Angry Marines. I mean, to be fair, the Space Wolves are just because I like the models. Like, oh, cool, a boss. And I like the colour scheme too. I genuinely like the colour scheme. I don't know why. It's not particularly amazing. It's just a bit of grey. I mean, Black Templars I kind of had a thing for a while. Dark Angels too. I had a thing for Dark Angels for quite some time. Quite some time. Oh, so much Daka. You call that a boss. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh wow, his comment's been filtered. Well, we need some moderators up in the room. Mods will be sleeping. Yeah, I like the Dark Angels miniatures as well. I like the robes. I think robes look really cool. And yeah, there's something, as you say, animated about the Space Wolves. They're a cool looking faction. They are a cool looking faction. Guild War 2 system. I'm trying to remember. I remember you had a dual weapon set and you'd swap between them, and I have a feeling you could spec into for each weapon. Now one of my issues is Guild Wars had, now correct me if I'm wrong, but about 6 weapons for each character, and therefore having a skill tree surrounding that I think was incredibly simple. If you've got 70 weapons, and I think we're up to about 70 in this, it's a hell of a lot. I'm not sure you can have the same type of... I can't remember Guild Wars 2 system that well, to be honest. It might be doable. Might be doable. But I can't... I did play the game quite a bit, but it's just... I've drawn a blank. Oh, there we go. But I don't remember there being that much choice. I feel like it was fairly sort of I had the choice of 2 great weapons and maybe 3 different single-handed ones, something like that. I can't even remember who I played. I seem to remember having a pistol and sword. But there you go. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Currently tripping traps. Have we triggered anything? I don't think I've seen anything get triggered. Come on, a little bit more Dakka. Dakka, 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 Dakka. There we go. Currently wrecking some nubs, wrecking some heretic nubs. Looking forward to my next bash on Wildlands when I'm going to win a game. First game. Haven't won a game for a long time in that. Oh. But yeah, that's my hopes for the forthcoming patch is they'll change a lot of abilities on each weapon, and they'll just allow each weapon to be unique. Because I think what they've done at the moment is they kind of tried to make some weapons have too many purposes, like the bolt gun. And granted, I know that you can have hellfire rounds and the bolt gun is a versatile weapon, but it's just too versatile, so it loses its character. If you say, oh, you've got a bolt gun, that's really good against armoured targets, or you've got an auto gun that's really good at doing XYZ, or you've got a las gun that's really, really accurate. I don't know. They kind of make sense, but the way they've got the build, the skills on some of these weapons, it just makes them all in this grey area of just, they all just throw bullets at an enemy, you know? And that's where buffs and debuffs, I think, would really be useful. I mean, one simple thing for a bolter rifle that I thought would be a very simple idea is have one of the abilities on it toggle the first ability between doing an AoE hellfire round and doing a standard single target round. So you keep it versatile, but you make it a little bit more interesting. I think there's loads and loads of things they could do to make the weapons just function a little bit more interestingly. I think there's options, there's things to do. Although then you can make the argument, if it's just swapping the first ability between 2 different abilities, then why not just have a second ability doing that? But I don't know, maybe it could have an effect on all of the abilities to make them all hellfire rounds. There's options. Exactly, or you could just have a hellfire bolter or a standard bolter, and all of a sudden then, you know, the sub patterns of bolter could be different. There's loads of different options, but we're just going to have to wait and see. It's right round the corner at least. That's, I mean, I'd love to leak you, but when those things come out, they are under NDA, so until the patch goes live, we can't talk about it, but testing will start soon, quote unquote soon, and I'm excited. Yes, they do have different patterns already, however, let's be fair here. They're very, very bland. You've got bonus ammo, you've got minus damage against elites, all the classic sort of runes that you'd see on... okay, none of those are any interest. All the classic stuff you would see on an ARPG, but is it really enough to justify it? No, not for me, not for me. Let's just pop over here, because I've got an attribute point I can pick up from the raidie. We shall have to see, we shall have to see. I mean, as I say, I don't think this game will be perfect, but... Oh, I want something from you. Oh, 150? Ouch. There goes all my fate. God damn you, lady. Will this game be the best ARPG ever? No. Like, let's be fair. Teams of 150 teams of 50 developers very rarely come out with a best-in-class game. But it could be very good, and it could be really fun in its own quirky little way. We shall have to wait and see. I mean, it's not going to kill WoW, let's be fair here. We're not looking at the birth of a new era. But you never know. You never know. They might do some things different enough to make you just think, I fancy playing a bit of Martyr today. We shall have to see. Let's check out all the areas. Ooh. Have we leveled up here? I think we have. But yes, what else would you guys like to talk about today? What should we ramble about? We talked about the upcoming stuff. Okay, we've done the first sector. Let's get out of there. I should have actually had a look. So we've done the first sector twice now. Let's go to the next one. See what we've got here. See if we've got any missions we can mop up. That awkward pause in the loading screen. Ugh, so awkward. There we go, some special missions. Lovely jubbly. So I guess these are quote-unquote sort of end-game missions. They're not end-game. They're not end-game at all. They're just spawning at my level. It's curious that you still spawn the really low-level stuff. Ugh. Space Marine chapsters and the Hollywood monsters they are based off of. My friend, you probably know more about this than I do. I'm not too much of a lore buff, so I couldn't really tell you if one of them's based off of, like, I don't know, the Italians. And I mean, it took me a long time to really realise that Warhammer Fantasy was based off of, like, the world map for it was at least sort of semi-transferable to ours. Although it made perfect sense when you think about it. Oh, beautiful. So many explosions. Right, oh, I guess we can activate this. New Eisenhorn model. I saw it. Looks okay. Looks alright. I saw the Necromunda model. That didn't really do it for me, I have to say. Here's the thing. Is anyone going to Gamescom? Not Gamescom. Is anyone going to Warhammer Fest this year? Will anyone be going? So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna get my booty on down there, swiggity swoody, and take my Isha gang, my Necromunda models down, and see if anyone wants to challenge me to, I don't know, 1,000 points. We'll do standard scenario. I'll probably hang around there all day. That's my plan anyway. Say hello to some of the devs. It's in Nottingham. Oh no, wait, no. It's not in Nottingham. Is it in Birmingham? Does anyone remember Coventry? Coventry. It's in Coventry. It's definitely in Coventry. It's at the arena in Coventry. It's semi-entertaining. Like, it's not a massive event, but it's fairly big. I had a fairly good time last time. That's because I just went down to have a chat with the Neocore dudes. I'm not 100% sure they're going this year. I think they are, but I don't think they've decided yet. But if they are there, I'll be trying to get a face-to-face interview, because they actually give a bit of information in person when you get to speak to them. When you get these developers on their own and corner them, they actually give you some information. I just remembered something really, really cool. Weekly Neocore streams are coming back, guys. Weekly Neocore streams are coming back. That's right. That is right. Confirmed. Confirmed, confirmed. Fonzarelli, my big announcement still hasn't happened yet. I'm deeply sorry. I'm waiting to find out something from a organisation of sorts. And then I need to find out something from them to find out a date. And then I need to find out if I can sort time off around work. And then it will be a big thing if it happens. But it's quote-unquote soon, and they need to decide pretty frickin' sharpish. But stuff may be happening, but I can't say what it is, because no one's supposed to know about the event yet. So I can't say what company it's affiliated with. But it's obviously relating to the YouTube channel. But it's an event that I may or may not be going to. And I can't tell you what the event is, or where it is, or whose company it is, because the event's not supposed to exist yet. I just got notified early because I need to give my work at least 6 weeks' notice in order to get days off. And we're creeping to that mark rather fast. So there you go. You haven't missed much, do you? You haven't missed much at all. I've been asked for spoilers, but I'm afraid... Yeah, it's basically Warhammer Fight Club. Basically, it's Warhammer Fight Club, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Oh, so much DACA, so much DACA. So yeah, the first rule is you can't talk about Fight Club, because Fight Clubs are an aid. But there you go. There you go. But yeah, I am looking forward to Warhammer Fest. I'm hoping on going to Warhammer Fest, probably Gamescom. I'm hoping on going to a few things this year. Sort of, you know, getting out there a little bit. And the t-shirts are looking thing. Yeah, I'm liking my design. I need to tweak it a bit. But Hydra hoodies. Sorry, they're hoodies. They're not t-shirts. Hydra hoodies. They're going to be largely non-profit, so I'm going to try and get them as cheap as I can, which it should be about 15 British pounds, which is pretty reasonable for a piece of apparel. Yes, I know I'm fairly guilty of saying soon, but in my defence, this is kind of like the interview that I was doing. I kept being told, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. And then I'll be like, yo, I'm ready now. Nah, we can't do it today, something's come up. I mean, it's, you know, one day when I'm a big boy YouTuber and I've got myself 5 squillion views, you know, then I get to tell them what day it's going to be. But up until the mo, you know, Hydra's happy to be slotted in where he can. You got to be flexible if you're wanting to grow. It's kind of like when I started off being self-employed. Now employed, but when you start off as self-employed, you can't just tell people when you're going to work and when you're not. Like, you just got to take work when you can. And if, you know, you just got to basically bend over and just do what they say. But you should never do that. That is a bad thing to do. But in terms of being self-employed, it's very useful to not becoming homeless. Right, exploding stuff. Warhammer Fest next year. Ooh. Could be exciting. Warhammer Fest is pretty small. I don't want to get your hopes up. It is small. However, it's pretty nifty. Like, all of the developers were there. I didn't actually have a chat with all of them. I definitely will this year. Once I've got my Hydra t-shirt, of course. Hydra hoodie. Sorry, it's a hoodie, not a fucking t-shirt. It's a hoodie. Swearing. Demonetized. But seriously, I had a chat with some of them last year, but mainly just the Martyr dudes. Next time I want to have a chat with Fat Shark as well, because they're a cool bunch. The Slytherin dudes, I'd like to meet them. It depends if their game's good or not. Definitely want to have a chat with Rogue Factor, because they've been really cool. Their PR dudes have been awesome. And I really want to start covering Necromunda. There's going to be some information on that this week. I know they've got a playable multiplayer that they were demoing. So that beta or alpha is not going to be too far away. Oh boy. I am an excited monkey for that. I mean, hot diggity. Oh, bring it on. Bring it on, Dreadnought. But yes, the quote-unquote soon is definitely the emoji of choice. I can pass on the information about... Now, the ones that have the ability to make you forget that you met them. I can't remember. But are they the ones that have, like, the mind control thing going on? Oh, the Dakar. So much Dakar. I could be an orc. Oh, it's beautiful. Right. I think we could blow this up, couldn't we? There we go. That was a bit more effective. It was super effective, in fact. Thrud. We'll get there in the end, do we? We'll get there in the end. Right, and one more. Did we get anything good? I don't think we did. But that'll do me. That'll do me. Stealth-based race. Ooh. Yeah, stealth-based army on a tabletop. I mean, that's kind of difficult because the other person stood right there looking at them. That's the only issue with the stealth, unless everything freaking deep strikes, or, you know, you get to put counters on that represent possible allies, or I don't know. I don't know. Words are really hard sometimes, Dewey. I fully appreciate that. So you're speaking another language as well, so you've got a better excuse. They can squeeze through buildings. Okay, I can squeeze through a building, am I a Hrud? Did I even pronounce that right? Who knows? Oh, I have not played Infinity, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. I've seen the scenery. The Infinity scenery looks fairly cool. Yep, could be, could be. Right, do we have some missions? We've got some here, we've got some there. So everything that spawns at my level is a special mission. That's good to know. Oh, Rebel Guard assassinations. Come on. Rip, rip, rip. Well, I like to think of myself as fairly non-heretical. We'll go for this one. There we go. Let's do it with my heavy bolter. Oh, I have to say, a lot of people have said to me they think this gun is underpowered. I do not think it is. I think that the plasma cannon is horribly underpowered. I think this gun is in a fairly good place. It just needs quite a few skill points to make any viable build. Okay, I like a Necromunda feel. I like them Necromunda feels. Oh, I think we should probably go for some AoE here. Oh, dear. Oh, wow. There's a lot of pain going on here. Excuse me, firing at the floor for a second while I just check out the chat. Auto Hydra is pretty heretical, that has to be said. I mean, it's Auto Hydra, it's not, you know, Auto Ultramarine or something incredibly square. We're far too cool for that. We don't follow the rules, we are the rules. I'm looking forward to the morality system, actually. I know it's not really a morality system. It's kind of going to be a morality system, though. Would you like to save everyone on the planet, or would you like to exterminatus them? Or, I mean, heck, the Puritan thing might even be, do you want to exterminatus? And the radical thing might be, do you want to go down and enslave them all? You know, it's in that sense, it's not really a morality system, because both things will probably involve killing lots of people. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do it. Oh, this... Let's get a turret to take some shots for me. Come on. Blow up the mans. Oh, the accuracy is not a thing. Oh, it's not a thing, is it? Yep. About 1 in every 50 shots hits. Fortunately, the AoE has a slightly better accuracy rating. I mean, minus spread on this weapon would be an absolute dream. And this is an assassination where I do not need to kill everything, so I should probably stop trying to kill everything. Whew. There we go. So now I've got a few more people in here. Who else would like to see a Dawn of War 1 stream? Or even a couple of videos, you know, we go have a little dabble with Dawn of War 1 again, maybe do a little PvP video, maybe just do another video where we play the game and we're all nostalgic and go, oh, look at the little orcs and the tech priests and what they say, aren't they cute? I think it would be nice. I do think it would be nice. Just to relive some of those magical moments. Although, the one thing is you've got to be prepared when you go back and you do that to a game that you love. And you've got to be prepared to admit it's nowhere near as good as you thought it was. That's invariably what happens when you go back to a childhood sort of sweetheart. You realise it wasn't actually that sweet. It just felt like that because you hadn't touched enough other people. Oh, the damage is moderate, but it's not enough. Whoa, steady on. Now, is my turret going to shoot his turret? His turret seems to be doing a lot more than my turret right now. I'm a little disappointed with mine. Right, let's get some suppression back. Oh, is my turret not even doing anything? No, there you go, dude. There you go. Oh, my word. Go away. Stop hitting me with stuff and things. Oh. Right, don't knock me back. Let me get there. I need the shield. Oh. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're Gucci. We got the suppression back. Oh, he's knocking that shield down. We're going to need another one now. I might need to activate another as well. My health needs to pass the threshold so I get my inoculator cooldown reset any second now. Come on. Oh, is it not going to do it? Oh, well, rip me. Well, there you go. Magic moments. Now that is a song and a half. But yeah, I'm feeling nostalgic. I would like to go back to that game, but I'm also kind of worried that I'll go back to it and be like, oh, look at how amazing this game was. It was totes fantastic, and then just be a little bit disappointed. Though that being said, the simple gameplay is part of the charm of that game, I think. It's just a simple game. It's just a simple but fun game. One of the problems now is I don't think in 2018 simple but fun games still have the same sort of effect. Ouch. Ouch indeed. That was in a time, Dawn of War 1 was in a time where simple and sort of not that complicated games could be done. Like Dark Omen, was looking at that again today. I mean, that was a simple game, but it was good. It was really, really good fun. Oh, these Imperial Guard are not going to last very long, are they? Well, they've not spawned yet, so that's a good start. Oh, they've spawned. Quick, before the AoE thing kills you and smashes you. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. I'll tell you what, we'll pull back. We'll let the Imperial Guard do some of the work. It's what they're there for, right? Go on, men, forward! For freedom! For the Emperor! The Emperor is with you. Right. Taking cover and stuff. There we go. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, when I play this game, I do think to myself every now and again, if I didn't make videos on this, would I like this game so much? I don't know. I don't know. I managed to put a lot of hours into this, but I like it. Don't get me wrong, I do like it. I don't think it's a bad game. I don't know. I'm going to go back to what Arch Warhammer was saying, where I do agree that the actual basic combat elements of this definitely fall short of the mark in regards to being comparable to even, you know, the most classic ARPGs like Baldur's Gate. Pretty much any one of those is fun to play to a degree. The combat sort of, yeah, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. But there is something slightly off about it. Slightly off. Maybe it's all the static nature of the combat. Maybe it's not. I had a look at Vulcan as well, and I mean, doesn't look like it's the best ARPG ever, but it looks alright. And it looked, I was watching someone play through and level, and it just, I don't know, I think it's just because this is so far from a classic ARPG that it kind of throws you a little bit, but I do think the static nature of the combat is definitely enough to put a lot of people off. But we shall see, we shall see. I mean, I like it enough to play it a hell of a lot. God knows how many hours I've put in. And I'm going to stick with it because I want to see all the features. I want to see what they're actually putting in this game. I want my mysteries solved. Way too much that I don't know. Oh, come on, please. There we go. Have they killed my turret? Oh, Ripperino. I have faith. I have faith. I do. Not loads, but I've got some. I have faith that the game will be a lot better by launch. It's just a case of how much better. And people aren't very forgiving these days. Have I actually missed a freaking target back there? My God. No, actually, I might as well go right to the end here and then back. I am a noob. Oh, I'm a filthy noob. Go away, turret. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh. Now I have to be suppressed for ages. Oh, the joy. Kill my turrets. How dare you? Oh, we could kill that guy quick. There we go. We've done it. We'll let the turret kill them all now. You can do it, turret. Turret of destiny. I don't think the turret's going to last very long. Oh, here we go. Go on, let's put another turret down then before I get knocked back again. Right. Now, will the turret do the rest? These grenade launchers, I mean, they're so obnoxious. Get out of it. Right. Now, I think what we're going to do is just chill for a second. Get some stuff back. Get some stuff back. That'll do us. Let's try the one ability in comparison. Let's see how quickly that kills him. Not too bad. Not too bad. Right. Try a bit of a 1 over there. I do think it's much, much quicker just to do the AoE. Let's try 2 instead. The range was slightly out. There you go. But I want to talk to people, like all of these guys that do reviews and talk about this game. I really want to talk to them when the game is actually out. I want to sort of be able to all discuss stuff on the same page, because one of the problems is when people talk about the game, most talk about the state of the game now and sort of say how much of a good game is this, which I don't, which is probably why I'm taken as such a white knight, because I don't see this, what I'm doing now, as a game. I see this as a piece of a game that I've been given to test in terms of what I think of certain features and functions and such. So the way I talk about it's going to be different, but when we're all on the same page in 2-3 months, then we're all going to be able to talk the same language. And I think at that point it's going to be easier to sort of cross points with other people and such, and it's why sort of I think some people get so heated in the forums, because some people will discuss the game as if, well, discuss basically what you've downloaded currently as quote-unquote the game, and other people are like, well, this is just the bit that was scheduled to be tested. XYZ features aren't included and they will address blah blah blah. It's going to be nice when we're all on the same page. Will be indeed. I mean, even if the White Knights were wrong and the naysayers were right, I don't care. Just as long as we can all have conversations. I think the opinions will always be divided on this, though. I don't think it's ever going to be unanimously accepted. But I think there's definitely room for a portion of the Warhammer fan base to love it. I do think, because I thought Mordheim was a raging success. I really liked Mordheim, even though it wasn't the best game in the world. I mean, it had some massive issues. Graphically, it was okay. The models were alright. But the gameplay was kind of clunky, and the turn systems was all a bit awkward. Blech. Blech. What did you miss, Andre? Not a lot, just me rambling some more. Just more rambling. Oh, getting in that extra fate. Slowly, slowly creeping in. Okay. Keeping an eye out for some nice, juicy relics. Not getting any, though. Not getting any relics at the moo. I've got another grenade launcher, if that counts. I've had 2 grenade launchers today. Yippee-ki-yay. I'm not even going to look at the stats because I hate the grenade launcher. Mordheim did become very repetitive. It was a game that could never work with AI that well, because you never... As we said before, AI is essentially... There's no such thing in a game as AI. There is just decision trees and more complex decision trees. And the problem is... Demonic Incursion. The decision trees within Mordheim are very easy to predict and very easy to abuse. And the only way to fix that problem was basically to play against other players. But it was really difficult to do that. So... Yeah, the game needed polish too. I mean, I've seen some footage of... I've seen a few clips, rather, of Necromunda, and it does look nice. I'm sure the next game's going to be a few steps up, because I know they've moved to the Unreal Engine, so I'm semi-optimistic that Necromunda is going to be an improvement on that. But we shall see. I mean, will it be a meta game? Probably not. But I really hope they go with a turn-based system of Necromunda, where, I don't know if anyone's played the new board game, but basically you take it in turns to move a unit until you've... And you can pick which unit in which order until you've activated, quote-unquote, all of your fighters, and then it's the other person's go. But I really like that. I really like that on the board game. Because I've always hated sitting there for 15 minutes watching all of your stuff getting shot. And... I really, really like it. There's just some stuff on Twitter. It's not even clips, it's just pictures of people playing the game. But you can tell from the visuals that it's going to look alright. It's going to look quite pretty. So I'm optimistic for that game. I'm hoping they do the new turn-based system. I'm sure they will, in fact. And that was one thing about Mordheim that was okay, because you didn't have to wait for everyone to have a go. It was based on initiative, but I'm hoping this one isn't based on initiative. It's a little bit more Well, I like the new system. Basically, you just pick a fighter to activate. Although how they get the AI to figure that one out, I don't know how that's going to be possible. Again, it's going to be the drawback. I'll tell you that now. It's going to be one of the main drawbacks of Necromunda. Will be the AI. I really hope they make some big changes to improve it. But like one of the easiest things to abuse with more time was just pick an elite unit and theirs will probably get stuck behind a barrel somewhere. And they never fixed that, and that was so game breaking because it just meant that yours would go around the map trouncing everything and theirs just would never even show up. It would just be stuck in a building. And that one thing caused some major problems for the game in terms of balance. Although, I mean, it was quite a punishing game. See you, Jones, buddy. Oh, you are more than welcome to lurk anytime, my friend. You are more than welcome to lurk. As long as you praise the Emperor before going to bed, you're alright by me. Take care, my friend, though. I will be around this week, hopefully with news and stuff to talk about. This beta, hopefully they stick that up soon, and then we actually have some real juicy stuff to talk about, like the balancing changes. Oh, my word. I know we've already talked about it once, but it's a big moment for this game because Van Helsing's balance sucked. It was one of the worst things about Van Helsing was just that there were these builds that were so good. It was like Van Helsing had never been balanced. It had never made it past the point where we're at now within Inquisitor. And oh, is this going to spawn stuff? Probably. Let's touch the chest. Don't spawn stuff. Oh, there's no teleporter, sweet. Yeah, Van Helsing was left, and I have to say and that is not a good thing of Neocore to have done. To their shame, they basically just kicked it in one day and were like, yeah, final cut. We'll just move on from that. And I know they still do some tech support for it, but a lot of the bad reviews for that game are people that have had major issues like account wipes because XYZ reasons, and that is a problem. That is a big old problem. You can't have stuff like that in a game that's been out for a few years, you know, you've got to iron out the kinks. The thing is with Warhammer fans at least is they will tear them to shreds if they don't fix that stuff. Yeah, that is true, Andre, but I did play it co-op, and basically I found a build that made the game easy using the mage, and my friend who was not a mage had a really crap time because I basically carried him everywhere. And he just, you know, we did the tower defense missions, he didn't need to do anything, I just killed everything. All because I had like a flaming Hydra build that was just ridiculously good. But just the base damage at level 1 or 2 was so much higher. But you're right though, it wasn't the end of the world, the game was still playable. But I do think it was, I don't know, I think it was a little bit of a mistake not to fix a few bits like that, because it doesn't have much build diversity when one is finding the game really hard and one's finding the game really easy just because they're not balanced. That's not a great place for a game to be, I think. But the game was alright. The game was alright. I mean, Rip Katarina, I think we're all going to miss her. Will there be another Van Helsing one day? Oh, wouldn't that be great? There won't be. But let's be honest, it would be cool, wouldn't it? It would be cool. I'm curious to see what the next Diablo project is going to be, because they were hiring specifically staff with MMO experience, so who knows? Who knows, could be the next Blizzard MMO coming out, Diablo style. But it's all just rumours, really. We don't really know, but if you want to know more, tune into Riker. With a few extra ers. Let's move a bit of stuff over. I like to have a couple of spare bits and bobs. There we go. And, oh, purpley. Now, I got these today from the Cabal. I'm very, very happy with them, because I finally basically leveled up the Cabal on my own, and went to the tech tree and got this doodah Hickey, which means once every sort of 2 hours or so, you get to go to the shop, you get to buy 2 of these and get a bunch of free items, which can be relic items. Really, really good. No, Diablo 3, as far as I'm aware, is in maintenance mode now. As far as I'm aware, there are no more expansions due for that game. I think Diablo 3 has been... It was sort of officially put onto skeleton staff after the Necromancer. People sort of thought, oh, maybe we'll see some more stuff, but it looks like it's actually gone the other way. And as far as I'm aware, the Diablo 3 has gone bare bones in terms of seasons now. It's now going to be just copy-pasta seasons instead of anything genuinely new. But there you go. Oh, Zolos, it's because you're in the wrong cabal, my friend. If you were in Hydra, you wouldn't be having these problems. That's what it is. That's what it is. Without a doubt. Right, one more mission. Let's go. 9:10. Need to do a bit of work. Need to play some Wildlands too. I need to win a game of Wildlands. And I'm sure you guys don't want to watch that again. That was painful. But I do need to play it. Oh, I'm taking some extra damage on this one. But we've got lots to talk about soon within the Martyr universe. Oh, give me some working anti-aliasing, please. I can't wait for it. Just give it to me now. I really hope that's included within this patch. I mean, the tactical view looks like it is. And we got a little... I don't know if it was an accidental screen capture today, but that looked interesting. So it looked like 2 different visual modes where you could have enemy health bars. Think about all the customizable options you see in the gameplay of most ARPGs. So enemy health bars, damage numbers, enemy outlines, enemy damage numbers. I don't know, loads of stuff like that. Ground targeters, torch flashlight. Thermal vision was listed as well, and then you can sort of toggle between one and another. That looks like it's going to be what tactical view is. So it's basically just, do you want to see loads of information on mobs or do you not? And hopefully stuff like that will be able to tell you if they're armoured or if they're not armoured, and you know, useful bits of information like how much cover, how much health a piece of cover has. Sounds interesting. I'm actually on AMD, and I've tried to use anti-aliasing via AMD, and it doesn't really like it very much. I should probably try and use it again, actually, and switch it on override, because I have a feeling I'm not using it at the moment. I think it's switched off. So I could try and use a little bit of AMD anti-aliasing in the next one. I'm rocking my RX 480, got it before the mining craze, back when they were semi-good value. Don't regret it at all, don't regret it at all. Not every AMD card is worth the money, but I just went for what was good value at the time. And it was a toss-up between an RX 480 and a 1060, and I don't regret my purchase given the games I play. However, although I'm an AMD fanboy, I mean, I've got to say I was looking at a 1080 Ti just because 1080 Ti is a really, really good card. However, I also, A, I don't need it, and B, I can't afford it. I get it's still a fair bit of money. Though I think their next card's coming out this year, although it might have been delayed. Can't remember. But so many things and buttons and stuff and happenings. I'm getting shot from a lot of sides right now. Daka. But this game's running fine on a 480 at the mo, to be fair. Like, I'm not dipping frames. I don't need to upgrade my card if I'm playing this on 1080. It's doing fine. I don't know what frames I'm rocking at the moment, actually. I mean, it says my ping, which apparently is 0, which is disconcerting. Come on, take some Daka. Right, let's crack on with this mission. Don't really want to spend all day in here. Oh, I see the trap. There we go. There we go. I mean, it wouldn't be nice to see a roadmap, but I think we just had mentioned that there would be a channel log included with the patch. So I don't know if they're actually doing a road map of sorts. Maybe because they just think it's going to be a little bit underwhelming. If it's just the features we're missing and a couple of additional changes, then, you know, maybe they're kind of worried about releasing something that will make more people moan than more people happy. I mean, it happens. This is 2018, we do like a moan. A lot of us are English too, and we'd really like a moan. Oh, I'd moan about anything. Weather. Size of a cup of tea, price of a Mars bar. Good lord, they're so expensive now. I remember when a Mars bar was 23 pence. Oh, come on. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. There we go. Time to go, time to go, time to go. I wouldn't mind an assault pack, actually. Just making these a little bit quicker. Go on. Off we go. I guess we should kill some, seeing as they really are asking for it. We'll let the turret buy me some time. I like the maps. I have to say, I do like the maps in this game. Like they do look good and pretty. They do. But give me that anti-aliasing. Give me a working one. Although I'll try and put AMD on and see what happens. I think I did before and the whole game went fuzzy. It went true fuzzy duck. Cunning stunts. It's not pretty. But I can try again. Maybe AMD's a little bit more understanding now. Right, last one. We could try and bum rush it. Why do they call it a bum rush? That's a good, there's a question for you. I'm from the UK. I'm near enough to London. I'm south of London, basically. If you're not UK-ish. But I'm around town, around there. Come on. Come on, round we go. Round the, oh, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Pew, pew, pew. And we're out of there. Whew, that was tense. That was close. Guys, I'm going to do a quick little recap of my build for you, and then we're going to call it a day. Because I'm actually mid-week, mid-work. Got work to do before I go to work tomorrow, and then work and other such things and work. Let's just check the shop. Ooh, has it just reset? Oh, well, I'll buy these things anyway. Wish me luck. Shall we get anything good? Da, 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 da. London's a cool place. I dig it. I have to say, I dig London. It is one of those places you can be proud of if you're from the UK. Come on. Give me a relic. Give me a juicy relic, please. Ah, well, we got another one of those. Really likes giving me the same stuff. But hey, it's all gravy. Definitely noticing the fate coming in slowly. Guys, it's been good. Let's quickly go through the skills. Remember, we're rocking a ranged weapon. I'm going with the physical attacks, making sure up to 30 hits will apply up to 30% extra damage, making sure critical hits basically give a stack of vulnerability, and hence we're going with all of the crits on here. I should probably have a point in this if my suppression does ever get low. It's very, very, very useful to have. So we're applying lots of crits to apply loads of vulnerability here. The range damage I'm using for 5, 10, 15, 20% when they're slowed, stunned, shocked or frozen. 1, 2, 3, 4% extra critical stuff damage. Extra critical to channeled, and I've got lots of channeled stuff. Extra reload time's fairly nice too. The debuff tree we're using to apply a shock and a slow bonus, but more importantly we're applying a 3-second shock penalty to targets that were affected to stun, blind or knockdown. This is mainly for group play, so if I do need to knock some stuff down, if there's a large bottleneck, etc., I can just spam the 2 ability and it's still going to do a good chunk of damage. It's still going to be pretty useful. The AoE will still put vulnerabilities on the targets, etc. We just won't get the bonus from the physical attacks ramping up on a target. And that's pretty much everything. I mean, you could probably take these out of here, place them along there, just for some consistent damage. That would probably work out a little bit better. You can maybe go with a bit of movement speed, but that's the general gist. Support, we've of course got focus regen, which is really handy. Hit points, inoculator reset, and defense, we're going for the damage reduction by armor bonus, which is just a given really. that is the build. Now, guys and girls, have yourself a great week. Thank you very much for stopping by. I will be back again soon, mark my words, and I need to do some videos this week as well. So if you want to see a video on a specific topic, hit me up, let me know, and help me out because I'm running low on ideas. Take care, guys.